Guys, another episode of What's Up, guys? These. Bring it. Seven. Yes, you can start. What's up, guys? This is our talk number 7. Another live here with Mr. Krystiano himself and the man behind the camera, Mr. Felix Estevez.
Do I get called Mr. Krystiano just because I'm 45 years old?
Because you're old, yeah, you're right. You like I don't call you Mr. Dacosta.
Should I put like my senior car? My senior car.
So it's another Art Talk Live.
Everybody.
And I think it's important that when we created this platform, it wasn't just about the artist's life. It's not about just painting, but it's the art of so many different things. So today we get to talk about the art of communication.
The
art of communication and networking.
I'm the one with an accent, but he messed up the
Hey, listen, I'm Spanish, alright? I just love to speak it.
Yeah,
but so today we definitely wanted to make sure that we invite Mr. Felix, the man behind the camera, because I think we've all been in places where we've kind of got to where we're at by communication and networking, right?
Yep.
So it's important that we all share our testimonies, that we all get to really kind of give you some free knowledge, as we always say, because it's really important that we want you to win. You see us here, the three of us all the time, but it's more about feeding you guys the knowledge, getting you guys the ability to become something better in life. I think when we created this together, that's what the platform was for. So just to kind of start off, introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Felix Estevez.
Did you just mess up your last name?
He's the producer! We're gonna just like it. He's the producer!
I said my name, right?
Felix Estevez.
No, Estevez.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I'm part of the production team here. So you can make sure you're gonna follow us on YouTube, and we'll be uploading all the videos from all the past lives, putting together all these videos that we're working on. So yeah, I'm the man. I'm usually behind the camera, but today,
It's the guy behind the magic.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you see the dope videos, the dope highlights that we always post, is this man. Really cool to do. A lot of it he does off his phone. So, but really kind of get started, because I think we all have great testimonies. I would just want to say how me and Felix kind of the networking on how we all got together. So,
That's been working a long time, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say working together. We've known of each other for a very long time.
Okay.
So we actually met in high school, but weren't friends. I think he graduated a year or two before me. And we took 2 different paths in life, but we were both entrepreneurs at one point.
Right.
And really, it was the networking of Mr. Felix that came to the cafe. He was just interested in what I was doing, and from that day on, we've communicated. We've kind of stayed close friends, and then from there we went to networking events. He invited me to networking events, probably my first networking event actually, and from there we've been able to just do so much. I think in the last 2-3 years, really first starting to create videos, positive videos, and here I am creating a positive platform.
Well, that's how I got to kind of get together with you, was through your videos.
Yeah.
All those little things that on the ladder and the microphone doesn't work and things like that. I was like,
on top of
what are you guys doing?
And we've done so many different things, but so because of the communication that we created years ago when I opened up my cafe, we've been able to just really network with other people, and we've been able to bring each other along onto different ventures. So it's been pretty dope. That's just how me and Felix got together, and then the networking communication that we've done together that got us to this point.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was
how we communicated, how obviously you enjoyed something about me, but if it wasn't for me networking the way that I've done or communicate the way that I did, I wouldn't have gotten those opportunities to really be here.
I think that's the beauty of social media nowadays, that we cut the middleman, because every time we want to communicate was through a radio. Television was relatively impossible. Billboards is, now you can reach so many people and
instantly,
and that's the beauty of it, that you can actually do so much more. I tell from an experience, because I'm 45. I'm basically from the black and white. You know what I mean? It's like, and I've seen the changing throughout decades of the communication, what we were and what we are right now. It's like you can just right in there. And to me, there's no excuse why you could not connect and make money online we live in a prime time today. That's what I believe.
I want to just start. I think we all have stories, but go ahead. I mean, go ahead. What you say?
No. Go ahead.
So I was gonna come to you anyway and ask you the question, but I mean, we're entrepreneurs, but we don't get to this place, and I hear so many often. I'm pretty sure you guys both heard it. Is oh, you guys are so lucky, but don't realize it's not luck. Yeah. There's really been a lot of networking and communication. That's the reason that we created this art of communication and networking. But kind of talk about your story. How do you feel in your life and your career to, whether it's the video, whether it's the massage company that you also have, how did you feel that networking and communicating helped you to get where you are today?
I think networking and communication is like, it's everything in business, in relationships, in every aspect of your life. If you're not connecting with the right people or with people in general, then your business can't prosper, your connections with others can't prosper, and then you will always be stuck kind of in the same place. So you need other people to open up doors for you that you probably didn't have access to. So there's been a lot of times where, you know, I meet somebody and they have access to a whole nother network of people. So it's not just that person that you're kind of tapping into, it's the whole network of people that they
may have. Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. You mentioned something about just making sure that you're connecting with the right people. Krystiano, how important do you think it is when we talk about burning the bridge? Because I think it's so often that people, when they think about communication network, they fail because they burned that bridge. How important do you think it is to stay away from that?
You know, I say through experience, right? I burned a lot of bridges just because I was ahead of my vision, right? For example, I've learned how to quiet a little bit because I communicate a lot in things that I was gonna do, but because of tight scheduling, shows and traveling a lot, I couldn't fulfill that promise. And people actually looked down on me. I burned a couple bridges. I had somebody that actually kind of laughed one day, say, yeah, right. You know, I'm talking to him about something very cool, you know, like you guys want to come to my studio, kind of share what's going on, but it's like a process. But then when I put a date on it, and it comes to that day, I don't have that accomplished, I burn a lot of bridges that way, and I've learned how not communicate, but kind of hold back a little bit, step back and say, can I really do that? Mm-hmm. It's better not to say it and promise than just when you put out there, people are going to expect it. For example, if I tell right now, we've been doing faithfully the art talk, and the moment that we drop the ball 1 week or two, the viewers and the people are going to start like, oh, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? So I think
so. Sometimes like it's better to undervalue but over deliver.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
So
I think it's like don't get emotional and promise things that you're gonna do. Don't overbook yourself. Don't overpromise. I know there's a lot of people doing paint parties and paint what to twist and face paintings, and they overbook themselves, and then you gotta come up with an excuse. And it happens to me. I had to come up with an excuse and cancel shows because I wasn't ready.
Yeah. I mean, when you talk about that, it leads to one, the communication that you may have with that client, whoever it may be, but also the networking. Because if you're communicating with them, being honest, when you are able to do the paint party, whatever it may be, that networking is whoever they may be, whoever they may know. You don't know who someone knows. I think it's really big important when we talk about that. And just to kind of give a little story on my first business, which was the cafe, and I want you guys to all kind of talk about your stories, was that when I opened up my cafe, it wasn't because I had the money. You know what I mean? I didn't have $10,000 to drop.
We don't have the money.
We don't, but because we knew how to communicate, or we network with the right people, and we build relationships, someone was willing to assist me at the bank. I communicated well and networked with the branch manager, so when it was time for me to sit down with him, he was able to say, this is how much I can help you, and you can go here and get this much help. Mm-hmm. When I opened up my buy and resell business, it wasn't because I had the money, it was because I told somebody that believed in me. The next thing you know, I'm at the at the desk of the person that owns Four State dealership. I had no money,
Uh-huh.
but again, it was the network that I put in, how I communicated myself, and people believing in me that got me to those levels where I'm able to open up a business, where I'm able to get, to meet Krystiano, where I'm able to, bring Felix on, and I think that's huge, because once you build that with someone, people are more willing to kind of open up doors for you, I would say.
And it's important to not to burn yourself, you know what I mean? Because sometimes the dream is so big that, it's like I told before in my first Hard Talk, you guys not even involved, it was the very first one that I put out there. Because I always told people I was going to do something, but I never did. People, man, why are you not live? Why are you not doing this? Why are you not coming? People want to see what's going on.
Yeah.
I finally, that day, I sat down over there and I started, right? It is important not to kill yourself too, because sometimes your dreams are so big and you overbook yourself and you burn yourself and you don't have time for your family, which should be always your first ministry, always your first priority, because things are going to fall apart because of your dreams. But even though when you communicate, there is a positive and a negative way to communicate. There is communication, there is manipulation, right? Manipulation is when people try, hey man, we're gonna do this, we're gonna promise, they manipulated the situation. Yeah. I see a lot of those things when it comes at me, that people try to manipulate the situation because they want to know how to get into galleries. Mm-hmm. Instead of they just come and be honest about it and say like, hey man, could you coach me? Could you help me? I really wanted to be in this gallery. Then, hey, you know what? My art's selling like crazy. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to rep. It doesn't go that way. People don't buy the same way. There is communication and there is manipulation, and it's important to understand in every situation. Even though when you're communicating a deal, you need to understand the body language is 90% of the conversation. If the person is really interested in your project, or you're wasting your time. Because sometimes you go over there and you're pouring your heart and soul, and somebody's, yeah, okay, oh man, that sounds good, man. I'm with you, but the person, they're not laughing with you, they're laughing at you. And that happens a lot.
Like you said, communication is more than words. It's the body language, it's how you do business, like all that communicates something to someone.
What actions the person is taking after you communicated with them, whatever it is they're working on,
whether it's
or whatever.
Email, whatever it may be. There's so many different aspects of communication. So when people think of communication, don't think of just vocal, word to word.
Oh yeah.
But
all these emails, things that people send to people, it's
professionalism.
It's so informal. You know what I mean? I think the beauty of here's what happened. The beauty of social media nowadays, that I have access to you. I don't have to go to your manager. I don't have to ask permission to anybody. I can go direct to you and I say, Efrain, can you coach me on this? What is your insights or input on this? And I try to answer most of my DMs and my private as much as I can, because I think it's important, because I don't want to leave people in here. Mm-hmm. But I'm able to filter things too and understand if that person just want to take advantage. That I'm not disregarding the person. Say it's not. I cannot waste my time on that type of subject, so I don't put too much effort into it.
And then what would be a good way for somebody that's interested in maybe learning from you, or learning some of the things that I always feel like when you're asking somebody to be a mentor or mentee, or asking for their advice, I always advise somebody that they have to bring some type of value to the table as well, not just consume, and
exactly.
then you just give it. It's kind of like what can you do for me, but at the same time, you still it's your time,
Yeah.
It's like, consider yourself like, for example, there's two types of coaching, right? There is a coach that you kind of take under your wings, that you really see this person potential, you really want to help, because you see in the case of Rex that we mentioned, I saw him about a year ago, we started talking, that now he's actually putting into work, and you can see it. You can see the moment, and I love to see that. I love to see an artist actually having the taste of production, putting out there, he's communicating, he's showing what it is, right? This is kind of cool. Obviously I cannot take anybody under my wings, which is not fair either if I'm there to impact people. Yeah. So then comes the way that one-on-one, right? Or a certain group of people, or very broad when we do mentoring and motivation speaking. Because then you get 300 people in a room, you're able to share your thoughts and coach them, you give them an open mic, they can ask you questions. I think that's the better way to do with the masses, because there it's gonna happen. 300 people, maybe 15 is gonna, digest and take what you're doing, because that's what it is. When you go to a convention, you take 10%.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just get bored. You figure out it's not for you. What am I doing here? But you're gonna have that 10% of people that really they're ready to do it.
Yeah.
You need to be able to identify this one-on-one coach, a select group of people that you think is worth it for you to do it, and then you just open up, like if they really want you to coach this subject, you open up to a broad audience.
Yeah, I think when we talk about communicating in the sense of someone mentoring or coaching or whatever, it's their communication, or you're watching them. When they ask you for something, you're watching how they communicate back with you. Are they serious enough? And I think that's what's important. When we talk about Rex had really taken what you've said to him, and you can see that there was some sort of communication that he was taking in what you were providing to him, and he was giving that back to you. So that's also very important. But I do want to go ahead and just, you first, what are some moments that you can remember that make, whether it's networking or communication, that took you to another level in your career?
I think just my whole, every part of business that I've been a part of has been a huge impact on the people that I've met through communicating. So like through the massage business, a lot of the connections of the people that I met were the ones that were able to take me to different levels of opening doors for different properties or different locations and different therapists. And then when I ventured off into the video world, just by starting doing videos with you, I was able to connect with our good friend Kevin, that then opened up the whole doors of traveling the world and being able to video like record Dubai, South America, just all types of different artists, Remy Ma, a whole bunch of different artists, and just by communicating and just by networking and knowing these people, they had access to a whole different network of individuals. So,
do you think that happened overnight? Because a lot of people,
no,
we're such in a place
correct.
People think it happens overnight. Like, it happened overnight to you? How long?
My thing has always been, when it comes to networking, my thing, when I go to a networking event, or if you go to like a business networking event, most people would go in there with a handful of business cards, and here's a business card, here's a business card, here's a business card, and at the end of the day, you just handed out 20 business cards, but didn't make one real connection.
Wow.
So instead, what I focus on, instead of going, because that's kind of like hunting, or you're gonna eat for that day, you might pass out 20 cards, and you think like, oh yeah, I'm gonna catch a fish that day.
Old way to communicate.
Correct. And then, but my thing is like, I think about it as farming. So you're building actual relationships that would then harvest, and in the long run will be able to, everybody's gonna eat from the harvest. And
it's actually a cool experience. Like one day, I lost maybe like 10 grand when Ortagon came about. The whole vision was an incredible vision. I bought into it. Had one of the biggest gallery right there. It was right in the front. When you walk in, had everything right, but we didn't have the audience, the people, the buyers. Art is such a deluxe item, right? Because obviously you have $50, $30, $200. My thing is, because it was so complicated in fabrication, they take more money, on the thousands, or even like $1,200, $2,000. So I think I had one sale there, but the cool thing about it is that I kept on going. Me and Julio Sanchez, we had a gallery there with 2 other artists, and we kept on going to kind of network somehow. And I said, listen, we got something good's gonna come out of here. And it was a whole month of struggling. Struggling. We're talking about sitting there, but there was one single account, which was a designer that she happened to be in the area. She's from Oman Beach. She came in. I had to build a metal table with a guitar. People that saw my stuff in Ortagon, they know exactly what I'm talking about. It was a beautiful guitar. I built the whole counter, but it was like an aviation type of thing. So he came in, and oh my gosh, I love this. I'm actually building a home right now, the home theater, the husband and the wife, they're pilots. They're from Texas, but they built a house here in a $5 million home at the beach, Normal Beach. So we're going back and forth, and I'm like, you don't have to be frustrated and give up, because that took 3 months. The house was being built, but I kept talking to her. I kept feeding her more picture. I kept getting to know her. I kept saying like, hey, we do all the projects. That project ended up being, usually I don't talk about figure, but it's important to say that project ended up being probably like $70,000 worth of like selling art, building, but that's one single account, right? And it's important when you network, it's like you said, oh, here's my car, here's my car, here's my car, here's my car. No one really paid attention. There was a motivation speaker that was very cool. So he went to introduce himself on a line of people, and he will shake people. So like, hey, hi, nice to meet you. I killed my mother-in-law this morning. Oh, nice to meet you. My name is Jerry. Oh, nice to meet you. I killed my mother-in-law. No one really paid attention to what he's saying. Only one guy said, excuse me, what did you say? You know what I mean? But here's what happened. Everybody, you need to listen more. There's so much, they're ready to, hey, here's my car. I do this. I got to get to know you.
Yeah.
Now social media, that's what social media is about. Who are you? You know what I mean? The other day I did a video. Who are you to your collectors? You're just another salesman or you're a consultant? I think it's important, if we go to a convention, there is one contact that's going to change your life. It might be there.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I think that's the important part of communicating and the networking piece, is that you don't know who knows who, or who is that one individual that can change your life forever. That's the important part, to not burning the bridges when doing those things, following up with those people that you may meet, because maybe they don't want to work with you now, but if you kept up that networking and communicating with them, I mean, it was 5-6 years before we really get to see each other again, and here we are. I mean, it was that power of the network and the communicating that we've kind of done in the past, or have been doing, in between then. But you already answered. Back to you. What would you say was that moment for you that took you through network and communication, took you kind of to the next level in your career?
Look, let's see, 15,
$70,000.
17 years ago. So I used to work for, like I said, a company that they did work, scenic work and team work for Walt Disney World, right? It's a company called My Event. So, great company, got me in. But there was always a division between third-party companies and Walt Disney artists. They didn't mix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's that kind of. One night, it was 2:30 in the morning. One night, I saw some Disney artists performing some working on Cinderella Carousel. I went there. Hey guys, I started communicating with them. I just broke the ice. I just went there. Oh, I didn't know you guys do this. You guys Walt Disney World. Oh yeah, we're scenic artists for Walt Disney. Blah blah blah. And I try to explain to them. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna try to explain what I do. I say, hey, I'm an artist. How can I get my portfolio evaluated by one of you guys? I just want to see if I have what it takes to get a job like this. Obviously, has been my dream. One artist just, just go to the cast member and fill out an application. I'm like, no. Hey, I don't want to be a princess. I don't want to be like, I'm too fat to be a princess now. So I'm like, I don't want to be a prince. Maybe a villain.
The long hair.
I'm like, I don't know, maybe Tarzan.
Tarzan.
So I left this for Alicia and Amy. They're the princesses there. So, but I said like, she just don't want to bother. She doesn't want to bother. She just, But you know what? My friends laugh at me. They like, I told you, man, what the heck are you doing talking to these people? I said, they're just people, man. Listen, I tell you what, it's not you that's going to get me into there. Those people there, they know the secret that I don't know. I just need one hand so I can break it in. Next night, we're restoring Cinderella Carousel, doing all the roofing, the outside, and they're doing just the horses. I go over there, and there was just like a beautiful girl, and I went over there and started talking to her. She was cool. You know, she got the surf look. I don't know what it was. It was a good vibe. So when I said, hey, hi, you know, I'm sorry to bother you, but, you know, I talked to your friend the other day, and, you know, I just need a little more information. I really want to apply for this. I kid you not. She pulled a card. She said, like, as a matter of fact, one of our artists just retired.
Wow.
That night, she pulled the card and said, here's the card. This is so-and-so. She's the art director for the whole entire Magic Kingdom. She's a big shot. I was like, okay. So back in my days, I just had a flip phone next there, you know what I mean? I called and I say,
You sounded old when you just said that. Back in my
back in my days. Hey, that's a flip phone, man. So I go like, it was before BlackBerry, so you know how old it is.
I don't know if I was born yet.
I'm telling you, you probably don't know if you're born. So I call in, I said like, Mrs. So-and-so, my name is Krystiano Dacosta, one of your artists just gave me your card. She said that one of the artists retired. I would like to see if you could evaluate my portfolio to see what I take to fill up a position. A month went by, I remember this day. I was washing something in my sink in the garage, doing some art, because back in the days I didn't have in my studio. I was just doing more stuff in my garage before my ex-wife just kicked me out. You know, she did, I don't want to do this anymore. So I got this message. Hello, Mr. Dacosta, this is so-and-so for DWW. What the hell is DWW? And I'm like, is somebody, did I pay my bills? Is somebody, I mean, Walt Disney World, that DWW, you know, I would like for you to come over and just, you know, like to evaluate portfolio. Make a long story short, I was just like pumped. I just got in my car in the day and I got completely lost. Took about 2 hours to find the lady. She called me back. The thing is, there's a private line. You cannot call back. When they call you, it's private. And so I'm like, Mrs. So-and-so, I apologize. I am so lost. I don't even know what I'm at. And she said, I was so lost that I went to the security. They didn't even see me. I parked my car on the side of the road and I started walking to the back line. The security didn't see me. I just managed to end up in her office. She evaluated my portfolio, which is what I asked for. She looked at me right and asked, when can you start? And I said, like, what? So, whoa. I said, silly boy, don't waste my time. You came here for a job. I love your portfolio. I love what you do. I like that you spray. I like that you have automotive experience. We need that a lot in the park. Nice. And I'm like, oh my God, this is just like a dream come true. You don't even know. It's like, she said, I know, I get this a lot. And I said, I'm like, oh, like, you know, just like, she said, and I said, I gotta go to my other company. I gotta just put up my 2 weeks notice because they've been good to me. I said, go ahead and do what you have to do because I'm on string. But here's what happened. I went to one person, they just snapped me out of it. I went to the second person and I unlocked, you know, that key. It's like you said, 101, don't be scared. Communicate properly. Make sure you get your stuff together before you communicate, so you don't overpromise things.
Yeah.
Be simple. And I went from that point to lead 25 to 30 artists around the world, just doing like incredible things. Wow. You know what I mean? I went from, in 2 weeks, they made me foreman. I had my guys. I was doing large projects that I couldn't even imagine that I could do. You know?
Communication, man. Communication is key.
Communication is the key.
And not, you know, you could have easily
given up.
That first no would have been, you know, somebody be like, oh, I'm not even gonna bother, you know, asking nobody else, you know.
Exactly.
And you were persistent and you continued. You know, the second person that you talked to opened up the door.
It's funny though. Like I skate like 11 years of my life, right? I love skateboarding. I was just crazy. But there was one particular kid that I talked to him a lot. He was probably like 12 years old. And I love the kid attitude. Here we are, just like 15, 17s, and this 12 years old hang out with us. I was like, hey kid, what are you doing? They just said, hey man, what's up? Hey, you want a Coke? Want me to get you something? I was like, no man, I'm cool. So the kid comes in, starts doing all kinds of tricks, and I said, man, that's kind of bold, that's kind of cool. And I said, that's kind of hard to go on the ramp. And he would look at me and it's like, did you do it? And I said, I did. I said, if you do it, I can do it. Somebody did. And you know, talk about 15, 17 years old, and this kid's running with us. He's 11 years old. He had this attitude, like, you know, 10 feet tall. It's like, if you can do it, I can do it. You did, I'll do it. And he was like, 2 years later, we used to call him Menina Flo. You know what I mean? Just a girly flower, something like that. We give him a nickname. And 2 years, he was already like almost 14. He already had a sponsorship. He was running amateur in skateboard. He was killing it. Attitude.
So I just got some out of when I'm sitting here listening to you, right? I'm getting.
Don't make fun of me, man. Don't you? Don't make fun of. You know, here's what happened, man.
I don't know if you
Guys,
realize.
my soul is young. These two right here, it's speaking on me because I'm old. But
Listen,
I'll let them have it.
These youngins, and I'm like, yo, you really show your age every time you say these youngins. Like, everybody's so young to him. I'm like,
So
yo,
young,
yo,
so
yo,
young.
But no, I think that's a whole like another art talk though. When you talk about the art of not giving up, it's the same way that me and my flow. I'm guessing I just said didn't give up. It's just the way that you didn't give up. The same way you didn't give up. You know, I remember when you started for the videography, and you were like, I'm a rookie, and I'm like, no, bro, you're not. Like, sometimes we don't even know our own value, and because of networking, communicating, someone takes us to another level we didn't even know existed. So I think that's really the important part when we talk about the art of network communication.
And I think something that the viewers can take is don't like, it's 2020. You know, don't be scared of jumping into other people's DMs and asking about something, or hey, I really love your work. Just people love that. Like even with video, like I've reached out to some of the top videographers, and hey, I really love your work. I'm pretty new. I would like to learn this. I would like to learn that. Here's what I've been doing, and here's kind of some of the value that I can work for you for free or whatever. Like something valuable that they'll find valuable on their end. And there's some that haven't responded, but then there's a lot of others that are like, oh man, thanks for reaching out, and I build really great relationships through the DMs on Instagram.
Yes, the cool thing is I tell people, you are the next level.
Mm-hmm.
You are, right?
Yeah.
It's like, for example, if we stop our talk tonight, you're gonna keep on going, empowering people. If you stop the art talk tonight, you're gonna go on. That's the goal. You are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is the beauty about life. This is the beauty about social media. This is the beauty about empowering other people, because when you need, they're going to empower you.
Yeah.
So you are. You stop like, there's a lot of, this is for all the artists, okay? All the art, the painters and the stuff. You stop judging your own art, okay? Stop judging. It's, do not explain. Let the art explain. Because for me, I might be very critical because I'm on another level, because I've been doing this for a long time. But I might give you an advice how to make it better. But for other people, your art is great. What you do is great. We gotta stop this idea to be waiting to be empowered, or there's so much content. There was never this amount of content in the world in a single year that is right now. You either had to read a book, listen to a book, or listen to a TV and wait for some PBS documentary to get some knowledge or get yourself into a library.
See, you keep showing your age.
What I'm saying is like, just do it.
No, I
Start
wanna,
somewhere.
So we talk about, like, especially in the social media days, right? This is when we talk about communicating and the network piece. So there was a gentleman that I was following off of social media, and followed him for some years, and I would just I bought some wristbands from him, and we communicated in that sense. And then I would just every time he posted something positive, I would, comment on it and stuff like that, and really kind of keep it an open door. And then one time I realized just through social media that he was in town. I think he posted something and it said like Universal or something like that. And I was like, I'm around the corner. So I messaged him and I said, hey man, like I would love to get to sit down with you. I'm in the area. If you like, we can possibly meet up. And he messaged me, he's like, hey, this is my address, like I'll be more than happy. I was able to spend the whole day with him, and this is a huge, big influencer, but I got to spend the day with him, really get I mean, he threw so much knowledge at me. I remember actually going to a show with him, and he didn't have a shirt, so I went home. I printed a shirt for him really quick. He has my shirt on.
Nice.
And I think at that moment is where I started to realize the value of how much money you can make off a T-shirt, right? And knowing your value. I think so many times we devalue ourselves because, like you said, we critique ourselves. We're our worst critics. But in the sense of me meeting him, I don't even know how it happened, but met him. I put on. Felix gets involved. Yeah, Felix is now in the Virgin Islands with Billionaire. And it's somebody I met off of social media.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And next thing you know, because of the network communicating and because I always want to put people on that's around me, he's in the Virgin Islands.
Listen, when I was doing service, I put one sign. This is like, this is 2008. The economy suck, right? I'm from Brazil. The economy sucked there anyway, so I know no difference. I'm like, so everybody said, economy. I was like, where? Like the light's still on. I put 1 yard sign that I made myself on my garage, on my plot. I made 1 yard sign, full finishing, decorative, blah blah blah. Phone number. I got a phone call by an old man. Hey, I saw your sign on the side of Lowe's. I said, yeah, sir. He said, how can I help? Well, I got a restaurant that I want to do some full finishing, I want to kind of, you're going to go to one of my restaurants in Lake Mary. I'm like, okay, I got the address. I'm looking for a mom and pop restaurant, little thing. It was the owner of Fishbones. Wow. The actual owner. Wow. They happened to be, no, this is how crazy it is. This guy is probably multi-million-dollar guy, has all kinds of chains of restaurant. He's at Lowe's shopping for some products that's missing one of his restaurants in Lake Mary. So he's doing the work himself. I went there. The job, it was so big that I couldn't get it. It was out of my league. It was like, so then 1 yard sign led me to the owner. Wow. Of the Fishbone chain of restaurant, and I'm like, I got it, but when I got there, it's like, oh, I blew it because I don't have what it takes to do this job. Yeah. I didn't have the crew, but
you committed to it. You committed to it.
Listen, man, communication exists from the moment that people just making smoke. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I could tell you about another. There was a guy on Instagram, Paris. He's an artist. A music artist, does videos and music videos and things like that, and he posted on his Instagram like, hey, I'm gonna be in Tulum tomorrow, looking for a videographer. And it was like next day type of thing. I was like, hey, I'm available tomorrow.
I'll go over there.
He's like, hey, here's the information, blah blah blah. Next thing you know, next day I was in Tulum filming a video for him.
Nice.
Listen, man,
so it's like,
it's in your hands. The communication piece is in your hands, but it's also how you go through with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you said, like you can't just go on somebody's DM and like.
Yeah. You got to bring some. That's why I said you have to bring some type of value when you're reaching out to somebody.
I think this is what I like, right? When I get a DM, okay, I'll just tell my perspective right off the bat when I get something in my inbox. I might get like 25 or 30 like a day, right? So I like the people that, hey, I love your stuff, this is what I do, and man, I love your style. It's kind of like, it's very down to earth, you know what I mean? What do you think about this? And I'm trying to do this, but my name is so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. And it's an easy communication, right? You don't want to like those pranks, those gold diggers. They're just going there, some of the events, people just try to get in the gallery, find out what you use. I see people all the time, what kind of material you use? Man, what do you use? Just go ahead and ask me, dude. It's like, I'll tell you what it is. There's no secret. I didn't invent that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't invent it. It's like there's 300,000 videographer, but you might just like be the videographer that's better doing your job. Yeah. You have a different vision, you know what I mean? But I tell people, if you want to approach, just be yourself. Just be yourself. Introduce yourself first. Yeah. Be yourself. Bring a nice content. You guys, get to share. For example, when I was talking to Rex and I do a lot of 3D printing, a lot of 3D-dimensional stuff. The guy does incredible stuff. I call him right off the bat. Hey man, what kind of software you use to do this? I'm thinking about buying ZBrush, which is kind of expensive. No, man, use this blender. It's free. You know what I mean? The guy didn't even think twice. He just like, hey, just go ahead and use this. I went download the stuff. Now I'm playing with it.
Yes.
You know, and because I'm doing like a modeling, digital this. There is no special recipe that nobody knows. You probably make it better, right? But stop with the bullshit of my secret or forget that, man. I tell you what, there's one thing they call YouTube that really messes you up if you try to. Hey, you might as well give it away. Wait for your people to back you up. You know, get your back. Forget about it. Just like that lady, she went to try to go to a label company. They blew her out of the water. Didn't give her a chance, and she made like $1 million new iTunes.
Oh yeah.
It was 1 million viewers that support her.
I've seen that.
You know what I mean? You know,
I think it's. I mean, even as a teacher, I think sometimes we just going back to we devalue ourselves, right? I mean, I've been doing t-shirts for 3 years, and then I started to get into like these Facebook groups, and like you said, there's so many different outlets where you can communicate and network with people, like so many different places. So if you have an interest, go to Facebook. I swear, you type it in, and there's a whole group of thousands of people.
oh my God, yeah.
So I would just kind of do these videos and kind of go live and just talk about the little things that I know. And because of that, it made me realize that I knew so much, even though I thought I knew nothing. You know what I mean? But you don't know how much you know until you meet somebody that knows absolutely nothing. You know, then all of a sudden you become this expert. I became like a t-shirt guy. People messaging me like, yeah, what t-shirt you're using, or what binder you're using, or how you do this. And I'm here teaching Etsy classes and all that. And it was really, no one taught me anything. You know, I did the research, and I would say when people message me, I want to see that people actually. I hate when people just want the free answers. What are you doing?
You have really, a lot of that.
Like I don't mind helping.
How much do you charge for this? And the person's quoting somebody else.
Exactly.
It's different than like, hey, I
Be
have
honest.
a project. Can you please help me quote this? Something landed in my lap. I don't even know how to price it. I'm lost. And you're like, sure, man, I would charge this t-shirt, but hey, you know, I want to give you 100 t-shirts. How much would you charge me? Oh, I'll charge you this much. So you spend your time.
Yeah, so that's that whole communication. And when that person comes back, now all of a sudden you no longer want to help that person.
It's funny though. When I used to do like a lot of homes, there was this lady that she comes to me and she goes like this. She brought me in to measure this whole entire house. I quote everything. I picked the finishes, and then she went about her business. I thought we were gonna do the job together, and I was like, "That's a decent job." Then 2 months later, I was teaching a class. She showed up in the class, and then she said, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much for your advice. We finished the whole entire job." So she went and hired a crew, finished everything. I didn't get a cent. Business-wise, I was just like, I'm not gonna say it live, but you know what I'm thinking. That's okay. What goes around comes around.
For sure.
But you see what I'm saying?
So as we wrap up the live, we get to. I mean, the whole thing was about art, the art of networking, communicating. What is that last thing that you can leave somebody with that may be watching that may just need that spark in their own lives in sense of art, communicating and networking? What's up, Krystiano?
We have a PayPal account that you can donate any money you want. Just as how you can contribute to the show. No, I'm just joking.
Well, say how old you are. You keep saying PayPal, bro. We got
shut up. PayPal is still going, man. It's like, no, just be honest, be true to yourself. Give before receive. Understand you're honest. Don't waste time with losers, and you find a bunch of them. And negative people. Just the time that we're living in. Just
communicate with the
I don't want to say what I'll say. Fuck the negativity, man. Just
communicate with the right people. There's so many people out here just really trying to take from you, but communicate with the right people.
Yeah, my thing is always give, then ask.
Exactly. Serve. Be a server. Just serve it without, that's, sometimes it's hard, but it's possible. It's possible.
I mean, what I would say, really kind of wrap everything that we said, is continue to network with the right people, like you said, continue to give, and then ask. And sometimes just make sure that you're surrounding yourself with some good people, because when you surround yourself with some good people and you're honest with those people, they'll bring you into circles that, you've never even thought of. So most important thing is just good people.
And don't share everything that you have don't start putting out there, because a lot of people are not going to buy your vision. Not everybody that is going, oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Just get the right people. Just wait. Kind of analyze if the person is the right person to share your ideas. Sometimes it's not even the person's fault.
Correct,
Just
correct.
because she's not ready for it. you
And
know?
sometimes in business, what I found that out is, you know, not everybody is your customer. You know, not
Yeah.
even your closest friends are not going to be the people that
No, yeah.
you have a niche market of the people that you're going to be selling to. So don't focus on people that you know to try to sell them your stuff. Just focus on what you love to do when it comes to art, whatever type of paintings you do or artistic things, and just put it out to the world. And don't focus so much on what the small circle of people that you know that they might not like it or they're not into it, but there's a broader amount of people out there that might love your work and might be dedicated fans and like are praising everything that you do.
Yes,
So-
like I get a lot of questions. People say like, how do you get inspired? Where does your inspiration come from for you to do your art? And I said, listen, I watch a lot of documentary, man. I just put on Netflix. I don't even watch the documentary. I just listen, and I get to see people's idea. You know, Tesla. You know, Edison Ford. All these people, where they come from. You know, this is what feeds me.
Yeah.
It's like I want to do something, you know, similar like that.
I want to also say when we talk about just continue to just kind of put out because we don't know the network that we're reaching. There was times where I was criticizing my own work when it came to videos and the positive videos I was putting out. And I felt like it wasn't good enough. People weren't listening. But then I have you show up on a live randomly because you're old and don't know how to technology. And but you know, to say something positive like that, or when I meet friends that I wouldn't even really say friends, but people that you know and you see them out in the streets and they will tell you like, man, I love your videos, and you're like, damn, you're watching. Like you don't really know when someone is watching. Like continue to just be your authentic self. Continue to do what it is that you love. The network will actually come to you when you're authentic to yourself and authentic to the people that's around you. There's no need to be fake about it.
And our talk is always going to be that. Our talk is never going to be to bash someone or to be negative about something or to tell you how you should do things. I think at the end it's your opinion. You do whatever you like.
Yeah.
But we're never going to, even like if we get negative comments on the show, we're not going to even mention. If they're negative, it's not even worth our time just to even mention.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to put logs to your fire. If it's negative, keep it to yourself. That's fine.
That's bad communication.
You know, that's bad communication.
That's bad note.
But next week I got something special for you guys. I am going to teach you how to build a shoe rack out of wooden pallets. Something you can get even behind a Walmart. We're gonna bring a little bit. You know, we have a couple of weeks talking and sharing a couple of things. But then we're just gonna do some tutorial about how you can make a shoe rack for your house with Krystiano Dacosta. He will be here, a little local artist around the corner. And I got new glasses now. Thank you guys for all your donations. I was able to purchase my glass. I'm just joking. I bought this online for like $10, just to look smart.
And from the production side, we would love to hear your feedback and just let us know. You know, we would love to know what you guys are interested in or seeing more of. You know, just comment on our videos.
Let us know.
DM. Let us know what you want to see more of. That would really help us out with what we're doing here.
If you guys have any questions, we still got some time, and we're actually doing really good on time. So if you guys got any questions, we'll go through whatever somebody's already messaged.
Let me see it.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's see what somebody
I need
said.
you to give me a mural at the new house, Chris. Okay.
Chris always says volume, but it's his
Sure. If you're moving to Orlando, I'm not doing this anymore, but I can find you the right person for that. So
That's that networking. See that?
I'm too expensive. I don't think you want me. I'm just like I'm very expensive.
Until
You know,
next time,
to put gas in a Ferrari costs a lot of money. So let me see what you have. Thank you guys. That's Emmy. So good. And let me see what else. Dude, I bought this glass. I cannot even read. Okay. I need you to What else, guys? Any questions? Winter Garden. Yeah. Around the corner.
Scroll up, see if anybody has drawn anything.
Let me see.
Oh, the other way.
Let me see.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me see who is in. Rachel. Oh my God. Love fish bones. I love it too. I didn't get to eat there for free, man. I couldn't do the job. I was not ready. The art of not giving up.
Thanks for tuning in.
All right, guys. I'll see you later. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll bring some cool